Hey guys, in today's video you'll see that a couple of our friends over from the Wild and Free YouTube channel, they were actually here to help us with a few things. We did a few notches and a few log lifts, and you'll see throughout the video what all they helped with. Pretty excited they were able to come and see our cabin and help us with a few things, so thank you to them. And also I learned about time-lapse from Cassie, so there's going to be a lot of time-lapse with everything now, because beforehand I just did normal videos. Yep, that's one of the notches that we did with them there. Yeah, so enjoy the time-lapse that I just learned about. Thank you, Cassie, for that. Oh, time-lapse is just really fast videos. So basically you see all the work that we get done, or most of the work that we get done, in a really quick video, instead of taking up all of my storage and just getting a little bit. They also have a whole video on this on their channel as well, so make sure you go over there and check it out. I'll try to put it in the description. In this clip, a nice time-lapse clip, you could see that I was putting down the insulation tape, and it wasn't going to stick just due to all of the rain, sleet, and snow that day, so I just had to staple it a little bit extra this time around. But yep, I was just getting it prepped for the next log to go up. In the next clips, you'll see that they were so amazing, and they brought their drone and they took some overhead pictures and videos, and I'm super obsessed with them. I love the outcome of them. If it wasn't super cloudy that day, you would see that we were surrounded in mountains, and I love that so much. I love mountains. But maybe another day we'll be able to see the mountains with a drone view. But look at this, isn't it so cool? I love it so much. And that was the end of them helping us with our cabin, and we really appreciate them, and we're thankful that they're here to help us with anything that we're needing. So thank you so much to you guys. Anyways, and now here's us just working along at the cabin now, and you'll see all of these amazing super fast time-lapse videos of our work that we're getting done. So enjoy. You'll see in these clips that I'm obviously just trying to keep our kids out of the danger zone, so that way they don't get hurt in any way, but we're also uncovering the floor so that way it could get some sunshine and dry up, because it did get cold, and then, or not cold, but like rained on, and then that rain froze, and then it turned into an ice rink. But anyways, now it's good, and there's some beams we carried in, and he's notching them. it is?
Look at that big gap right there.
So yeah, we got the ceiling slabs into the cabin, and then my husband's putting this piece of wood up there, that way we could see the center of it, and like it helps with measurements or whatever, I don't know. Regardless, I'm super happy he does that because it's super helpful, and plus it helps us lean the logs against it sometimes, like because our kids are running around, so we don't want the logs to fall or whatever, so it just helps lean the logs up against that. Anyways, super terrifying being up that high and doing everything, but you could see us chipping off all of the ice off of like the tongue and groove area, because if it has ice on there or snow, it won't like sit like it's supposed to. So that's what you see my husband taking all the ice off of it and everything. But then after that, we started doing it before we would put it up there. Sometimes it's just trial and error. You gotta learn as you go, as we're doing with everything, because this is our first cabin, so we're learning as we're going. Anyways, you'll see that our gable is going up, and we had to come up with a system of bringing it in through the window and then pulling it up that way. That way it was just safer, instead of working on the ladders out there, until he has to work on the ladders out there. But you'll see all of that as it goes on. But yeah, there's the gables, the one gable. Anyways, he's gonna zap off the sides of it. That way it's just all straight. You'll see, yep, that's what he's trying to do now. But we run into a lot of difficulties, like errors, whenever we go out there. Sometimes stuff just doesn't want to work, but it's okay because he gets it figured out and he gets it all finished eventually. But yeah, that ladder was kind of tricky because the logs were covered in ice and snow sometimes, so it was just like slipped, super scary. But anyways, yeah, he got it done, and you'll be able to see that. The last gable was a little bit more difficult, but this one is going a little bit smoother. You can see he has a chalk line, but yeah, I just hold the ladder for him and hope that I'm actually doing something for him. Anyways, he's going back and forth and zapping that all off. Oh, and zapping off these log things, the beam thingies. And then you'll see that this is how our kids stay entertained while we're doing it, everything. I know in a lot of the videos you don't see our kids doing things around the cabin, but they're there with us and they stay entertained and they're super amazing. And there's my husband up there zapping off the other parts of the, whatchamacallit, the gable thingy, so that way we could start on the ridgepole, purlins, and ceiling. And then in the next things, it's just pictures of him doing the notches, I think it's called. I don't know, but it's where the purlins will go. So that was the first one that he did. And then you could see that they're both done on the top. Our kids built their first snowman, and that's super rare here because of how dry our snow is and it's cold. Anyways, there's a purlin, and then you could see that the ridgepole is up and the purlins, but I didn't get any footage of that. But yeah, these are all the logs that we had peeled from our property. So they are gray, but we just gotta sand them down and get them looking good. Anyways, he's starting to put the ceiling slabs up. He has to like zap off a little bit of the log, that way it's smooth for it to lay smoothly, if that makes any sense. But you could see on some of the like support beam things that we started sanding it, but we decided we'll just do that later. But we're trying to get the cabin enclosed as soon as we can, so that way it'll stop filling with snow and we could actually get it, the flooring and everything, dried and finished. But enjoy these clips of him putting the ceiling up. You'll see that I took a picture of him like straightening it or whatever. But oh yeah, and there's a video, I guess, but he's just got to make it smooth so it'll lay smooth, because there is knots and bumps and stuff like that on the logs. But yeah, he gets it all worked out, and I just have to move the ladders for him he figured out a system of putting a piece of wood in between the two ladders. That way he could just go back and forth. Super smart, super, like, I don't know, sketchy, but whatever, it works. So it looks like he's got his stuff figured out. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, here's more pictures of him putting the ceiling up. And I'm just his photographer at this point because he's got it all figured out with a one-man system type thing. You'll see that I was trying to use spray foam to fill in the little, like, gap on the top because you want to give it room for settling or whatever, but it wasn't expanding because it was too cold outside, so it was just becoming a slimy, gooey mess that was just dripping everywhere and not expanding. So I just ended up shoving some of our insulation in there, and I mean, it looks good, it works. I think temporarily it'll work, but I was also taping it, and then we put up our first window, and a lot of things happened. The tube got messed up, and then, like, things just weren't working. Anyways, but we got it figured out. Definitely should have been wearing gloves because my fingers kept sticking to the metal, but that's beside the point. I didn't want to go get gloves on. But anyways, my mom is visiting, so she was helping us with the window as well, and she took the pictures of my husband and I. Anyways, there is our window going in. Super duper excited about that. We had to figure out some things because, like, it wasn't going together. I don't know if the cold was affecting it. It likely was the cold, but we have our heater right there that I kept trying to warm my fingers up because I wasn't using my brain and I didn't have my gloves on, and I was trying to clear the snow from the little grooves, that way it'll go in place. But anyways, yeah, my husband is smart and got it figured out. And there is our window and our crazy expand foam that wasn't expanding. But yeah, we got it all worked out, so that's good. So yeah, in these next clips you'll see that they just put up some boards over the window area because we haven't bought a window to put in it just yet, but that will be coming up soon. But there's our window that we have in, and then my mom was helping my husband unload some of the wood for our roof. And then there's how far we've come so far.